Hey guys, it's Zach here, and welcome to another episode of Pajama Theater. Today, we've got a highly anticipated Blu-ray release from Vinegar Syndrome of a divisive and almost controversial film, Drop Dead Fred. Originally released in 1991 and directed by Ate DeJong. Drop Dead Fred toes the line between a family film aimed at younger audiences and a parody of that very idea, mutated into a black comedy. There's a ton to unpack with this film, and Vinegar Syndrome brings us an awesome-looking release alongside a great collection of supplements. Before we get to unboxing our copy, let's talk a bit about the film itself. I do want to preface this review by letting you know now that I did not watch this film as a kid. I remember seeing it on the shelves of video rental stores, but it wasn't ever something my family picked out. Drop Dead Fred seems to be a film that looks much different in the spotlight of nostalgia. Whether that's for better or worse is questionable. There are people who absolutely adore the film and its zaniness, while others find it offensive and obnoxious. However, I'm going at it with fresh eyes, and wow does this film have some rabbit holes to get lost in. Drop Dead Fred stars Phoebe Cates as Elizabeth, a young woman whose life seems to be crumbling before her. Her husband is a manipulative cheat, her single mother is an overbearing suppressor, and now, she's not only had her car stolen, but she's also fired from her job after being late due to the lost transportation. Wow, this story really opens up by bringing down the hammer on this poor girl. Just when things can't get any worse, Elizabeth's childhood imaginary friend makes a grand reappearance after being dormant for years. Drop Dead Fred, played by Rick Mayall. No one else can see, hear, or otherwise detect Fred in classic imaginary friend style. We learn through a series of flashbacks that he played a larger role in Elizabeth's life when she was a child, being wacky and fun whenever she needed him most. However, due to the fact that he is indeed invisible, Elizabeth is always blamed and ignored when things go awry. She directs the complaints to Drop Dead Fred appropriately, but her family, friends, and doctors always call her out for being a liar. Now that Elizabeth is an adult, Fred is here to help her through these tough times. But he seems much more interested in going wild than sitting down and having a proper discussion. More often than not, Fred just makes things worse. He's crude, he's foul, he's absolutely destructive, and ultimately has no regard for personal space, belongings, or otherwise. Despite this, it's now up to our dysfunctional duo to get Elizabeth's life turned back around, though the road won't be without its bumps. Amongst being an emotional wreck with arguably years of trauma buried within, Elizabeth now deals with the chaotic entity that is Drop Dead Fred. She's trying to woo the man of her dreams, and Fred's busy making sexual jokes about the mom. She just wants to enjoy a nice lunch with her friend, and he just wants to watch the restaurant descend into chaos. As you can see, there's a definite pattern to this film. Yet despite such a sequential process, I don't really know what to think of the movie in the grand scheme of things. On one hand, Drop Dead Fred is a zany comedy between a girl just trying to grow up and her childhood imaginary friend clinging to the past. While on the other hand, it could very well be looked at as some sort of character analysis instead, showcasing the psychotic breakdown of a woman pushed to her limits emotionally, as she regresses into a state of childhood limbo where she acts out in destructive manners, blaming her imaginary friend at each step of the way in order to cope. So, wow, that's something, isn't it? Regardless, Drop Dead Fred is an anomaly of a film to feast your eyes upon. Or maybe you'll recoil in disgust if it's too obnoxious or dated. Either way, let me know what you think of the film in the comments below. How do you interpret the movie? Is it just a surface-level comedy with some cringy humor? Or is it truly a dive into the depths of a mind starved of emotional support? Leave your thoughts and opinions down below, and until then, we've got a physical copy of the film to check out. Brought to us by Vinegar Syndrome, it's loaded with bonuses on and off disc. So without further ado, let's go unbox our release. Here we are with Vinegar Syndrome's release of Drop Dead Fred. It's housed in a sturdy slipcover, featuring artwork on both the front and back. Underneath is our clear Blu-ray case featuring the original poster work on the front, with all of the release information listed on the back. If we open it up, we'll find a single Blu-ray disc on the right, as well as a booklet on the left. The booklet runs 8 pages cover to cover, and includes an interview with actress Phoebe Cates. A series of questions were sent to her, and she kindly sent a response answering all about her experiences with Drop Dead Fred. An excellent read, considering Cates does not appear in any of the video supplements. With the booklet aside, we can lastly note that the sleeve is of course reversible, featuring the same artwork on the opposing side as the outer slipcover. Regardless, we've completed our look at the physical aspects of this release, but there's plenty more to check out, so let's head on over and see what all is included on the disc. Vinegar Syndrome presents Drop Dead Fred, newly scanned and restored in 2K from its 35mm interpositive. It brings along with it the original stereo soundtrack, as well as a commentary track option for that rewatch, featuring director Ate De Jong. He notes that this is his first time watching the film in about 15 years, so he's going in with a rested pair of eyes and a refreshed mind. De Jong's commentary is consistent and engaging as he keeps up the one-sided conversation with all sorts of tidbits, stories, insights, and more. I enjoyed Ate De Jong's commentary track as a whole, and definitely recommend it for fans of the film. With the feature presentation aside, we have a great-looking collection of bonus features to check out, including several featurettes, interviews, and more. We'll start out by noting the included theatrical trailer for Drop Dead Fred, as well as a 26-minute compilation video of deleted scenes. Aside from cut sequences, some of these deleted scenes are actually alternate scenes as well, such as the first, which changes how Elizabeth and Mickey Bunce reconnect and fleshes out his character more as well. Overall, definitely a fun inclusion and the sort I will always appreciate. Moving now to a collection of extras involving cast and crew, we have 2 featurettes and a conversation, acting like extended interviews, as well as 4 more individual interview recordings. Altogether, these videos run over 2 hours long, making for a lengthy dive into the world of Drop Dead Fred as a production. We have a conversation with director Ate De Jong and producer Paul Webster, a featurette with co-writers and executive producers Anthony Fingleton and Carlos Davis, and a second featurette focused on special effects with VFX producer Peter Curran, VFX supervisor Kevin Kuchever, stop-motion animator Doug Beswick, special photographic effects artist Paul Gentry, and finally, special makeup effects artist Christopher Johnson. On top of all that, there's still the remaining 4 individual interviews with actress Marsha Mason, director of photography Peter Deming, actor Tim Matheson, and actress Ashley Peldon. Overall, these discussions and interviews are fantastic, as those involved discuss anything and everything before, during, and after the production of Drop Dead Fred. With that, however, we've completed our look at Vinegar Syndrome's release of Drop Dead Fred. It's an incredible example of a cult classic, and the label has done it justice. The movie looks phenomenal, and the included supplements are extensive and entertaining. Pick up this release for sure if you're a fan, and let me know down in the comments otherwise. Until then, thanks so much for joining me here once again on Pajama Theater. Like this video and subscribe to support the channel, and as always, thanks again, take care, and I'll see you next time.